Hi everyone. So in today's lesson I'm going to be showing you how to paint midground trees that are mostly in shade, so there's going to be a lot of dark colours used, but this will be a good lesson I think to show you the techniques and the paints that I use to do this. You saw the photo there on the screen that we're using as reference, but I'm using the dagger brush at the moment just to kind of break up the horizon line where the trees are coming up above the tree line, and the dagger brush is such a great brush for doing that because it's got that kind of texture, bit of sort of bristle to it. When you're doing trees that go above into the skyline, you want to be using a brush that's kind of got some texture to it. I mean, we could go onto the rigger brush, and we will do at some point, just to make those details a little bit finer, but for suggesting detail, a dagger brush or something with pretty stiff bristles is going to work really well for this. I'm just using a mix of ivory black, sap green, hooker's green, bit of burnt umber, and a little bit of the alizarin crimson in there, just to give a nice rich green. And we want to keep this dark because a lot of this background part is in quite a dark shadow here, so I'm just adding some dark to that because you're not going to see too much detail on the left hand side. There's a little bit more light hitting the right hand side where the sun comes through over the horizon, but on that left side we want to keep it nice and dark. So I've mixed a nice dark green up. It's almost virgin on black, but as I've mentioned before in previous lessons, is you don't want to be using pure ivory black for darks. You want to be adding other colours to it, or even not even putting ivory black in, but the ivory black's quite useful when you're darkening greens. It's primarily the only time I'll use ivory black in my paintings, but we're trying to keep the black looking, you know, nice and sort of vibrant really. You don't want it looking flat. So the way to do that is by mixing those other colours in, adding in the burnt umbers, adding in the alizarin crimsons and your cobalt violets and your French ultramarines. So there's a little island in front of the distant trees there. So I'm just putting that in with the filbert brush, and I'm just suggesting shapes. We're not painting too much detail at this point, but we're breaking up the tree line there with different shapes and trees. So you don't want it looking regular, you know, just make lots of little marks. Use your photo as a guide, but as I've said before, the photo is just a guide. I never copy it exactly. It's just there as really a reminder, a prompt for the bits that we're doing. So again, keeping that paint mix nice and dark as we do this, because this part is really in quite a bit of dark shade because the sun is actually behind the trees there, so most of this is going to be very dark. But what we'll do later on, I'll show you, is we use the smaller brushes and the rigger brush probably to bring out some of the kind of lighter areas, so you can see the trees on the right hand side there, and I'll tell you about the mixes that I use as we go on. But I'll continue to time lapse this because this is quite a lengthy tutorial because there's quite a lot of work involved, but I'll tell you how I do these things as we go through it. We're going on to the rigger brush just to put the sort of finer, crisper details into some of these trees that are a bit sort of further forward in the painting. And that's another tip, is when you're in the background, you want to keep those details almost quite vague, and that's where the big brushes are useful. But as you come near into the mid and foreground, that's when you want to be getting your rigger brush out and adding those details in where you can see detail a little bit more. And that's another thing that will help bring objects closer to you, is getting that extra detail in. As we come on to the reflections, the rigger brush is a really good brush for getting those bits where the shadows or the reflections of the trees meet the reflection of the sky. And I use the rigger brush just to flick little lines, horizontal lines, just to suggest that little bit of ripple. If you've seen my previous lessons where I've talked about doing reflections, I use an up and down and horizontal brush technique to make the reflections look realistic. And it's definitely something you want to be doing. So you make those brush strokes horizontal and vertical just to give that feeling of movement and reflection. I'm just starting to build up a little bit more tone and colour variation in the trees on the right there, just suggesting shapes with a lighter mix than we were using there. So I've added a bit of Naples yellow and a bit of titanium white to the mix just to make a little bit more of a highlight colour, not too much. You don't want to go too strong with it, so just do it a stage at a time, because we can always go lighter. If you make mistakes, don't worry about that, because we can always go over those with the darks again. But when you're making the highlights, just do it one stage at a time. Try not to rush it going in with your brightest highlights. Just work towards that. And I'm just using the filbert brush just to smooth everything out, again dragging the paint down to make the reflections look realistic. But I'm just adding some more highlights to the island trees there, and this will start to build up as we go on. Realistic is to flick the brush left and right with the rigger brush, just with the dark paint just into the sky there, and just little flicks will make that look like it's a ripple. And it's a really good technique for just making it look like it's realistic, giving that kind of rippled effect where the trees meet the sky. and you can add little bits and pieces onto that. So if you've enjoyed this lesson, thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and then you can follow this painting right to the end, and I'll have many more tutorials coming in the future. See you soon.